We're here on US 6 in Pennsylvania, and at one time, US 6 was the longest cross-country highway in the United States, running all the way from Provincetown at the tip of Cape Cod in Massachusetts to Long Beach, California. It no longer runs all the way to Long Beach, and in fact ends in Bishop, California, but it's still a very long transcontinental highway with a lot of history behind it. Pennsylvania has made quite an effort to promote tourism along US 6, and that's why we chose this state for our first look at some of the sights along the route. Our Kia Sportage will be our ride as we sample a bit of what US 6 has to offer. Unlike some of the other historic highways that we sometimes travel, US 6 in Pennsylvania is not closely paralleled by an interstate highway, meaning that in many areas it's still the major lifeline between many towns. So you're going to find some pretty busy areas along that route, as well as the beautiful quiet countryside. In its journey across the country, Route 6 originally stretched 3,652 miles from end to end. 447 miles were eliminated in 1965 when the western terminus was moved from Long Beach to Bishop, California. What remains today is mostly the original alignment, with some 400 of that in the state of Pennsylvania. Scranton, in the eastern portion of the state, is the largest metropolitan area that Route 6 passes through in Pennsylvania. And it has a number of interesting attractions based on its rich industrial heritage to enjoy. At a former railroad yard near downtown, you'll find the Steamtown National Historic Site. Here, a terrific collection of vintage locomotives and rail cars is on display, and a variety of museum exhibits tell the story of railroad development through the years. A separate trolley museum on the grounds concentrates on historic interurban rail memorabilia. The expansive complex also offers both steam train and trolley rides when weather permits. Coal mining played a very important part in the area's development, and that history is celebrated at the Lackawanna Coal Tour and Pennsylvania Anthracite Heritage Museum. Here you can take a rail car down into a mine for a walking tour of the veins, as well as enjoy a variety of exhibits of mining equipment, procedures, and history. At the Scranton Iron Furnaces, you'll see the remains of the Lackawanna Iron and Coal Company, once the second largest producers of iron in the country. Today, portions of the stone stacks stand as reminders of the blast furnaces built in the mid-1800s, and display boards explain their significance in what is now a riverside park. As you travel across the state along Route 6, museums of all types beckon travelers, including the Farm Museum in Troy and the Lumber Museum near Gailton, to name just a couple. In town after town, you'll find all sorts of historic buildings, including long-serving diners ready to feed hungry visitors. Near Wellsboro, in the Endless Mountains, Pennsylvania's own Grand Canyon awaits exploration. Formed by the Pine Creek River, the canyon stretches for 47 miles and is up to 1,450 feet deep. Numerous hiking trails allow you to enjoy spectacular views from around the rim or from the canyon floor. An unusual man-made point of interest is at Kinzua Bridge State Park. Here, a railroad bridge originally built in 1882 of iron, then rebuilt in 1900 with steel to withstand the heavier trains, was once the highest in the world. A tornado knocked down 11 of the bridge's towers in 2003, a year after it had been closed to rail and pedestrian traffic, Various observation points allow views of the viaduct and the canyon, and orientation presentations give more information about the history and engineering of the bridge. Another rather unusual sight to see is at Pymatuning Reservoir, near the Ohio state line, where fish are so numerous that ducks seem to ride on their backs as they all compete for food tossed by visitors along the spillway. Driving across Pennsylvania on Route 6 provides a great way to step back a bit in time to the two-lane travels of yesteryear, and to enjoy a variety of cities, towns, forests, mountains, attractions, and just plain history along the way. Our Kia Sportage proved to be a comfortable, sure-footed companion on the curving roads and the forest trails we explored, while averaging just under 28 miles to the gallon on our trip. It was fun to drive and confident in its responses throughout our journey, whether in town or on the open roads, just as it has been in all of our travels so far.